show, everyone. It's going to be a really fun show today. It's Friday. I love Fridays because it's a little bit lighter than any other day, and everybody has a lot of more fun. We are live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody that's watching us. Follow us, like us. We're going to be sharing this show after the show tonight, and so you guys can then share it with everybody else, and the more you share it, the more it grows, and it keeps on going and going and going. We're really excited about bringing on my first guest, who has been on with me once before. He almost didn't make it in. Get real close to that mic.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have with me Dave Weaver, and he is with People's Bank and Trust. Welcome to the show. You specialize in something. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm in my, proud to say, 24th year, soon to be my 25th year in the mortgage banking business, and transitioned over from what we call forward mortgages to working with the seniors. Take advantage of my gray hair. The home equity conversion mortgages, what I specialize in these days, which is a product for folks that are 62 or older who are looking to continue to reside in their home, but not necessarily have to make a house payment. Pretty interesting program.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about it. You know, a lot of people, it had a bad rap. It had a pretty bad rap.
Sure
so
did.
Tell everybody a little bit about what makes it different now and what it takes to qualify.
Okay. The old program deservedly had a bad rap. They were privately held bank paper, so the banks could make up any rules that they want. President Reagan in 1988 signed into law and allowed FHA to participate and created the program. All those old programs are gone. The new program, based on the reverse mortgage model, which says allow the senior to access the equity in their home, but not have to pay the loan back until they either pass away or they decide to move out of the home. Got to be 62 years of age or older, but you never lose control of the house. You always own it. You're always on title. You always have control of the equity, so you can pass it on down to your heirs. You just have access to the money to use now while you're still this side.
Well, let's say this. How do they take the money? I think that people get a little bit nervous because they don't understand how they can have access to that, and that does the bank? I think they think the bank owns their home.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the number one question.
Yeah, it's always the one I get, usually number one or two.
What's the number one?
Well, the number one is I'm afraid I'm going to lose my house, or alternate, I want to leave something to my kids as an inheritance. Why do I want to leave them with a loan? The bank does not want to own the house. FHA has made provisions within their contract and their underwriting guidelines that say the bank can't own the home unless you don't pay your taxes, you don't pay your homeowner's insurance, and you let the house get condemned by the county. Well, guess what? You're going to lose the house whether you got a loan or not if you don't pay your taxes and you let the house get condemned. So there really is no way that you can lose the home if you do the things you're supposed to do, which you're doing now anyway.
And how much money can they take out? Can they take as much as they want?
Oh, I wish. That would be so nice. It is age dependent. You have to be 62 years of age or better. In the game of life, level 62 or more. And it's the older you are, the more equity they allow you to access, because it is based on longevity. You don't pay the loan back until such time as you either pass or you move away.
If it's okay with you, I'd like to open up the lines to the audience and offer people something that I see right here.
Perfect. That's what it's here for.
Okay, because I know we didn't get a chance to really talk that long before you came on, but I see this and I think that it's really important. First of all, it's not a small thing. It's pretty extensive. Not huge, but at the same time, this is the essentials of home equity conversion mortgages. Is this sort of like a what they need? What is it?
It's the essentials. It is a high-level look on of all of the aspects of the home equity conversion mortgage, today's modern version of the old reverse mortgage.
Did you write it?
I wish.
Okay.
No, I have.
But it's something that you can give away?
It's absolutely something that's available to them, to anyone that wants it. It's free. We can email it out. We can mail it out, whatever.
So I'm going to open up the lines to the audience for everyone to get it.
Great.
Okay. And so our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. This is something that maybe it's you. Maybe you are yourself, thinking about the possibility of this. Maybe you're worried about whether or not you have enough money to live off of for the rest of your life. Sometimes people find out that they may not be able to. Maybe you're there and you are listening to this, and maybe your parents might need it, and you might need to sit down and talk to them and find out whether or not they do. And I know that it may seem scary to the person that I'm talking to right now, but it might be the right thing if they do the right thing anyway. Correct?
Correct. Lots of studies have been done, and it's been found that most of us have the majority of our wealth in the equity in our homes. But unlike dollars that we've contributed to 401ks or other retirement programs, I can't buy a gallon of milk with the equity in my house. The bank loves it, looks great on the balance sheet, but you can't do anything with it. And we found that over 40% of folks my age, adult, who have adult parents, are contributing to the daily expenses of our parents. But they're sitting on all this money that they could utilize because they want to leave me an inheritance. I'd much rather, because I've got kids, I'm trying to put them through school, I'm trying to do my thing. I would much rather my mom utilize the money that's in the house rather than worry about giving me an inheritance.
Well, sometimes you might need it. That's the bottom line. And it's the best thing to do is sit down and talk about it and what's best. Because, you might still even, you might not lose it just because you've done it.
No, I have many clients that set up it as a line of credit. Use it for emergencies. It's the only line of credit guaranteed by the federal government under the insurance program that they put out to never be frozen. Unlike a home equity line of credit, the bank can freeze it, reduce it. They can do all kinds of things to it. Under this program, they can't, and it has an automatic growth factor built into it, so the line gets bigger and bigger and bigger each year.
Now, do you do free consultations with people?
Only charge them there to breathe the air. No, it's all free.
Everything's free, and we're going to give this away. It's free. It's the essentials of home equity conversion mortgages. It's something that I think people that are thinking about this should take a look at. It's very extensive, so there's a lot of information. But what I love about it is you made it so that it has nice, big writing for everybody to see. You don't even have to wear glasses. I'll tell you right now. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in and get this. We're going to leave the lines open for everyone throughout the rest of the show to get any of the things that we give away here today. You could check them out on their website, which is forwardtoreverse.com. They're nationwide. They work with people nationwide.
We are a nationwide bank, yes. FDIC insured and regulated. And do business anywhere there's a house.
Do you still do free appraisals too with everybody?
It depends. There have been some changes in the
last time?
Since the last time.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
That happens.
Okay, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the lines open for everybody. Everyone is going to get this because it's free, and he wants everyone who's thinking about it, even if it's you or someone that you know. You might be in a situation that this works perfectly for. It's a free consultation. This is called the Essentials of Home Equity Conversion Mortgages, and it's really easy to read. If I can read it, and believe me, I can't see very well. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in here and get it. We're going to be back in just a minute. I know there's a lot of other questions people might have. You can check them out on their website. It's forwardtoreverse.com. You can call them. They do free consultations at 602-682-6353 or call in here 602-277-5369. Welcome back. We're talking with Dave Weaver, and he is with People's Bank and Trust. And let's talk a little bit about, someone going to you and with the company that you're with as opposed to some other the people out there.
Well, We sure, of course, would like everybody to come to us, but that's not reality. But those that do, they get the kind of personal treatment that they would hope to receive that they don't necessarily always get. We're a family-owned bank, 110 years old. The great-grandson of the gentleman that started the bank is our president and CEO, which is very rare in today's world, especially for an FDIC bank. We've got the same rules and regulations to follow as the big box stores do, so to speak. When they come to us, because we don't have all of the stick and brick branches, we pass on that economy of scale to the borrowers. We get better rates, we get better fees, lower fees, better service all the way around. And that's, we all play by the same rules. FHA creates those, but it's the explanations and the clarity that people receive as they go through this process, because it's a little scary. You know,
it is. It's they want to have. They have questions. They have lots of questions, and they have doubts. A lot of people do, and so the best thing to do is to get a free consultation and find out. It's just information, and that's all. That's what I love about my show. It gives people, you know, a lot of people to listen to who might have something that they might need or might find out about and can get that information. And that's what I love about this. So, you know, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know. Our lines are open here, and everyone's going to get it. They have it on their website. You can get it there. But, you know, I like to give people things. They love calling into the radio for it. And this way you'll have it from me, and you'll get connected with him. It's the essentials of home equity conversion mortgages. They are a little bit different. You know, people have those, but they've got the answers. He's been doing this for almost 25 years, you said. And that's the thing. They're here to help you understand and take you a step by step so you feel comfortable. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can go to their website. It's forwardtoreverse.com. Once they do this, okay, obviously there's a sigh of relief, I'm sure.
Sure.
But do they have to make mortgage payments?
No. That's the beauty of this particular program, because the studies that I alluded to before indicate that most seniors want to, quote unquote, age in place. They've been paying on that house for years and years.
My dad went down with a count. He went down with a ship, I mean.
Yeah. Well, my mom is.
They want to.
My mom's 91 and in the house that she and dad bought in 62. She ain't moving. All right. They want to live in that house. They've been paying for it. They went to work, showed up every day. This is home. But they need maybe some assistance. You know, it becomes more and more expensive. Utility bills certainly have gone up and things of this nature.
Since 1962?
Yeah, just a tad. So as long as the person is 62 years of age and they have a substantial amount of equity, it doesn't have to be free and clear, because we can pay off an existing remaining loan. But as long as they're 62 and have a decent amount of equity in the property, then essentially they qualify. There's no credit score requirement, unlike some of the other programs that are out there. There is a financial assessment, but it's not an income number. It's just to make sure that you've got enough cash flow to pay your property taxes, keep your house insured, and keep it in good shape upkeep-wise. If there's not, we can actually set up a what we call a set-aside, like an escrow account, to pay future property taxes, future homeowners insurance, and actually do the maintenance on the house. So it's a really flexible program to allow a senior to stay in the house, age in place, enjoy the home, and free up some cash. Maybe you need, because of some physical changes, you need grab rails. Maybe you need to put a ramp. Where's that money come from? This is a good source for those kinds of needs. And
we've got all the information here. It's the essentials of home equity conversion mortgages. And the number here to call is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Their website. They're nationwide, by the way. I want to say that again. They work nationwide because we are heard nationwide as well. So forward to reverse. You can also call them. They do free consultations. They want to talk to you and just help you understand what all of this can do for you. 602-682-6354 or call in here and get this from me. 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What about the rates and terms?
The federal government also has put some controls on that, some safeguards, as we like to refer to them. The line of credit option is one. The other is a fixed rate. The fixed rate is typically used for the person who is buying a house using the home equity conversion mortgage option for purchasing. And I'd like to talk about that a little bit in a minute. But to your question, the rates and terms, the line of credit is set up with an adjustable interest rate. It does have ceilings and caps on it, so it cannot exceed, but it's set with an index and a margin and is pretty much indicated to us by the market conditions. Typical interest rate today on a line of credit is in the high 4s, low 5s, which is very comparable to where standard 30-year fixed rates are today. So it's a very competitive product. There is no term on it. Okay? It's as long as you want to live in the house or as long as you're still alive. So the loan becomes due when the last borrower passes away or you no longer live in the house. So you dictate the term of the loan by your longevity or your own desire.
So what happens if you die?
What happens if you die? Same thing happens with this loan as if you have a regular loan. The house passes on to whomever you want to inherit it. They have the same responsibility to settle that loan through the estate. But there's one real key difference. You might owe more than the home is worth. And if you have a regular mortgage, your estate's writing a check to make up that difference. This loan, the bank can only take what the house is worth. So you could owe $200,000 more than the house is worth, and the bank can only take what the house sells for. They file a claim with the federal government to make up the difference. But neither your estate or your heirs have to write a check to make that bank whole. It's a great provision.
Okay. So is that new too?
That's been around for a while.
Okay. So that's been around for a while. So it seems to me that a lot of people, when they're listening to this, why would they still question it? What is it that stops them from calling?
I think, unfortunately, they're getting their information from people that don't really know what the new rules are. They maybe are listening. They maybe have heard. I hear it all the time. My aunt had one of these loans and she lost her house. When you dig into it deeper, you find out that they lost their house because they didn't pay their taxes. They didn't maintain the home. They didn't get help from other family members to keep the home in good repair, and the county maybe condemned it. Most of the time it's because they didn't pay their taxes. Well, that's the same with any lie. If you don't pay your taxes, the county's going to come after you. So.
Let me ask you something. Let's say somebody, so they've got two people living in the house and the spouse dies. What happens? They can still live in the house?
Absolutely.
And do they have to change anything over or just stays the same?
No, just stay in the house.
Uh-huh.
They made some provisions a few years ago, and they made a recent change. A lot of folks, maybe one of the spouses is not 62, so they're not eligible, quote unquote, for the loan, but they can still be on the title to the home, and if their spouse predeceases them, they can stay in the home until...
What happens if they stay alive for a long time?
They stay alive for a long time. Great. There's no provision that allows the bank to accelerate or call the loan due or make them sell the house. They just can't do it. The old private bank loans, yeah, they could do that. but not these loans. These are the FHA approved, and FHA creates the guidelines. They approve the underwriters. They approve the appraisers. It's all controlled.
When somebody is working with you and they decide to do it, do they say generally that they're really happy that they did? Do you find that people are like, I'm so glad I called you and talked to you?
Sure.
What's your experience been?
Well, I closed a loan last month for a lady who lived up in the Big Bear area in California. Her husband had worked for Pan American Airlines as a pilot, retired. When Pan American went out of business, he had passed, no more pension. She's trying to live in this house on $800 a month. Not happening in California. So her kids were pitching in every month. We did the reverse mortgage, paid off her existing loan, put $45,000 cash in her hand at closing, put a nice line of credit for emergency use down the road, and the first thing she did was go buy a new bed and call me and tell me, hey, Dave, I bought a new bed. I've talked to her kids. They're tickled because they're not having to support mom anymore.
This is great information, and people need to find out whether it's right for you, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
They do free consultations. You can call them direct at 602-682-6353, or go to their website. It's forwardtoreverse.com, or call in here and get this information.